Well, what's happening is obviously as credit contracts and people lose their jobs and all those kinds of things, people that maybe could pay rent before can't now, and so occupancies and revenues are going down, and so they're spending more and the management is starting to get out of control. So whenever you have low revenue and high expenses, you have no or little cash flow, if any, and so those deals are starting to crack. And we're starting to see banks are calling us, to try to go in and step in, but before they even hit the market. So the one in Houston we actually bought the note from the bank, never even made it to the market. So we're starting to see that stuff now, and it's just management.
So is your future brighter now?
Way brighter.
In this horrible, horrible market, it gets better. Just so you understand that. But Kenny's paid the price in the past and the present. Have you had a bad partner?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
It's part of the process, right?
Yeah, it's hire slowly and fire quickly. That's that's what we do now. You learn.
So when I looked at Kenny's Houston property, it was crystal clear why it was in trouble. Guy's from California.
Well, the interesting thing is I'll give you a little background. I have nothing against butchers, so hopefully nobody's a butcher, but he was a butcher in California and had a meat shop and had accumulated money in his life, and this was his first investment. He bought a 300 plus unit apartment building in Houston, and I actually never got to meet him, but the bank called us. He was in big trouble. And he still is, because he lost everything, and he's still, the bank's still going after him, and fortunate enough for us, we got to step in, but the property was 50% vacant, so that became our problem.
And now it's 100% occupied, right?
Well,
it is.
Actually, what happened was that, remember that hurricane that came through a little while ago? But I remember Robert called me on my way to Houston because it was a week after the hurricane, and we had some big damage there. In fact, I got a text on that weekend from my maintenance guy. He said, "I swam to the property, and here's the pictures." and that's a true story. And I said, "Oh no, this is not going to be good." So we flew there. It was a heck of a time, I tell you, getting a hotel and getting a rental car and all these things. Anyway, we finally got there. And we lost 106 units in the hurricane. Literally, the roofs were ripped off, and the buildings were, half of them were in the parking lot. So the roofs flew a block away. So Robert, I'm down there just going, oh my gosh, because the first thing is you're just like, what are we going to do now? And Robert called me up and said, the time that his rich dad got the most rich was Hurricane Iniki.
In Hawaii.
Yeah. And of course, I couldn't see that at the time because I'm standing there. And there's no power, and we have all these people that got displaced, and they're coming back, and there's no food, no grocery stores, nothing's open. So I had a big truck of food coming in from Austin to feed everybody. And well, what happened was the 106 units that were, let's say, 50-60% occupied, the people came back and they moved into the 200 units that were also 50% occupied. So my occupancy went up to about 80% on the 200 units, and the 106 units is being funded by insurance.